Go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Does not mean they actually will. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, obviously, I have the same thing. I don't think there's much of a question there. Yeah, Jabari Smith was big for Auburn, but I very much have the Auburn Tigers winning this one for many reasons. First of all, I will never trust Iowa in the NCAA tournament unless they win a game finally, because I have picked them multiple times. I picked them to go to the Final Four 2 years ago. They lost in the second round. I picked them to go to the Elite Eight. They lost in the first round to Richmond. Until they actually win a game, I am not picking Iowa. Plus, this game is in Birmingham, Alabama. This is a home game for Auburn. Iowa always flames out in the NCAA tournament. And with Auburn having essentially a home game for themselves, I got the Tigers winning this one. So yeah, yeah, yeah. That was what to say. I think you mean Drake. But yeah, this is another popular upset for some teams. I think Miami is well coached, but the thing for Drake is they're a very old team. Their average age is over 23, and their youngest guy is nearly shooting 40% from three. And they're very good at taking care of the basketball, as their assist to turnover ratio is 3 to 1. Um, this is a very dangerous Drake team. They played very well in the Missouri Valley. I am also taking Drake in the upset over Miami. Miami had a good year in the ACC, but that's the ACC. So, yeah, I'm taking Drake. Don't know much about the MAC. I don't know anything about Kent State. I just know I'm picking Indiana because they have Tracy Jackson Davis. Jalen Hood Shafino, that guy is terrifyingly good. Yeah. All right, and so yeah, you have Iowa State over Mississippi State. I have Iowa State up against the Pitt Panthers. Um, Iowa State is an interesting team because I mean, and this just goes again to show how good the Big 12 was this year. I mean, Iowa State this year was 18 or no 19 and 13, and they're a sixth seed. I mean, that's just how good the Big 12 is. But Iowa State, Gabe Kalsher's been pretty good for them this year. The Minnesota transfer from a couple years back. But this team really does not shoot threes well at all, and also does not very good from the free throw line. But they're well known for getting turnovers and getting offensive boards, getting second chance points. Um, I think Iowa State is a pretty easy upset candidate, no matter which team wins that Pitt Mississippi State game. But I do have more faith in Pitt being the team to get the upset, so I'll take the Pitt Panthers in the upset over Iowa State. Yeah. Yeah, Xavier's has had a couple mishaps this year. They've had some nice wins. They've also had some not great losses. They nearly lost to DePaul in the Big East tournament. Um, Xavier also is missing, I think, somebody. I'm not sure who it is, but they're out for the season now. But they are one of the best teams in on offense. Oh, there is Zach Fremantle. Zach Fremantle. He is out for the season for them. Uh, you know, they've had other guys who have come up, but they can get in cold streaks at different times. They are very experienced, and they don't really turn it over, and they don't get in foul trouble either. Um, but they do have issues with point guards who can really score a ton. And as for Keensaw State, they've only lost two games in their last 18, and they cause a lot of turnovers. So I'm just doing this for fun because I'm not necessarily Xavier's. I don't really trust Xavier this year, and so I know Calvin will love this. I'm taking Kennesaw State in an upset. Their very first tournament game, I got them upsetting the Musketeers. I could totally see it happening. I'm confident. I'm gonna go with Kennesaw State. I'm gonna do it. So next we got Texas A&M and Penn State, and yeah, this is gonna. I think this is easily going to be the best game of the first round. I can't believe that Texas A&M is a 7 seed. And Penn State, I mean, I expected Penn State to be like a 10 or 11, but I cannot believe that Texas A&M is a 7. I expect them to be either a 6 or a 5 at least, but they end up being a 7 here. This is a fantastic game. I've watched both of these teams a ton. Penn State is one of the best teams in the country and shooting threes. Texas A&M is one of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line. Both of these teams are incredibly hot coming into this game, which will make this easily the best game of the first round. Should be very close, but I got Texas A&M just coming up on top. I think they get Penn State in some foul trouble, which hurts them in terms of their 3-point shooting. I think Texas A&M will give them a problem. It should be very fun though. Easily the best game of the first round. I got Texas A&M just barely. Yeah, of course. Toothpaste is like Srebensky said. They're one of the best. I think they're the best team in terms of 3 point shooting. I think they have the best percentage out of everybody. Um, but Colgate, this should be a very. I think this will be an interesting game, but I think Texas is just the much better team here. The Longhorns, all their transfers from a year ago, didn't necessarily work, which only led to a 6 seed, and then they lost to Purdue. This year, they're a 2 seed. All their transfers have come together pretty well. Marcus Carr's having a really good year. They got some other freshmen that have done pretty well. This Texas team is just very dangerous, and that should create for a fantastic second round game between enormous rivals of Texas A&M and Texas. Those two hate each other, and that second round game is going to be so much fun to see. Yeah, they had a really good game for sure. Yeah, Houston, they're one of those teams that can really get in serious droughts offensively. They are one of the best teams in the country in terms of defense. But like you said, no Marcus Sasser possibly for who knows how long. This game once again is in Birmingham, Alabama, which I think is huge for the Auburn Tigers as they get another home game, which will be a big one for them. And yeah, I'm gonna go with the upset here. I got the Auburn Tigers moving on. They knock off Houston. Now, if they did still have Jamal or not Jamal Shed, Marcus Sasser, I'd probably go with Houston. But I'm going with Auburn in an upset, especially with them being home at Alabama. Houston's good defensively, but Auburn's got a couple decent players. They had a rough end to the season here, but I like Auburn in a home game here. Get a nice win. I think the home field advantage does it for them. And yeah, I'm gonna have the same thing. I'm having the Hoosiers knocking off Drake, going to the Sweet 16. This Indiana team should at least be able to beat Drake. I like Indiana though. They can really get hot. They can really play well, and they are very dangerous, especially if they get hot. They're gonna be very tough to beat. So I got the Hoosiers knocking off Drake. Hmm. And I actually had Iowa State getting upset in the first round too, so I actually have Kennesaw State and Pitt. So yeah, so this should be an interesting game, but I am going to take the Pitt Panthers to move on. Just get past Kennesaw State. Should be a fun 11-14 game. Don't see many of those, but it should be interesting. I think the 11 seed though, and Pitt will move on, get past Kennesaw State, in what should be a very close game. They beat the I don't know, Kennesaw State. I don't know what their fight name is. And they might be. So that sets up for Sabensky another a Big 12 matchup of Iowa State and Texas. That would be fun. For me, yeah, it's the same thing as Texas A&M and Texas. This is going to be a fantastic game. I think both. I think this will be a very I think there will be a lot of pushing and shoving in this game. These two don't like each other, and it's going to be very close. But I got the Longhorns coming out with a close win. All right, and then for all right, and then for me, it's gonna be Auburn up against Indiana. And I have the same result. I have the Hoosiers knocking off the Auburn Tigers. Um, Indiana's a pretty darn good team, like I said earlier, when they get hot. As for Auburn, they're a solid team. I think they'll put up a fight with the Hoosiers, but I got the Auburn Tigers going down here in Kansas City, and Indiana moves on to Elite Eight. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Pitt, nice run for the Gold Bears, I believe is what Pitt is, but oh, Panthers, I'm sorry. But yeah, nice run for the Panthers, but yeah, I got Texas getting the win there. Texas is much better than the Pitt Panthers. Pitt had a nice run, but it'll come to an end against Texas. A two seed moves on to take on Indiana. Yeah, that were to happen, then the Longhorns would pretty much have home field advantage since they'd be in Houston. Well, Houston would really have a home field advantage if they ended up winning, and then they would be in Houston. But yeah, it'd be nice for the Longhorns if they were to win that, and I have Texas winning that as well. I have the Longhorns in the Final Four. I think Indiana Texas will be an interesting game, but I think Texas will have enough to slip past the Hoosiers and get the win and get to the Final Four.